weekend and a shorter school week. Schools have been transferring to 4-day school weeks all over the country, and schools are enjoying the transition. Paraphrase from Mary Kate Frank in Should the School Week Be Shorter? A school that transitioned into 4-day school weeks took a survey to get an idea of how the parents and students were enjoying this transitioned week. 85% of responders responded with, they like it a lot. I am credible to give this speech because I have read many articles to conduct research on this topic. In this speech, I will be persuading you that 4-day school weeks are beneficial for the money-saving aspects, as well as students' daily lives, and should be implemented into schools. The first main benefit of shortening the school weeks is the cost savings that would come with it. According to Kathleen Kinsberry, in the article titled 4-Day School Weeks, last spring, school officials across the country watched as transportation costs skyrocketed as much as 40%. Schools are experiencing extreme growth in the amount of money needed to bring kids to and from schools, as well as maintaining heating and air costs. Paraphrased from Kinsberry, when schools decide to take one day off, they are expected to save up to $135,000 on fuel alone and more than $300,000 in overall costs throughout the year. This savings from just skipping one day out of the week could add up to an immense amount of money if the school continues the shortened schedule for years on. With the amount of extra savings, it could be put towards other things that could benefit the students more than just transportation. To save money for their budget, skipping a school day is the excellent solution. Cutting Classes states they believe a shorter school week will help them save money on transportation and heating costs, as well as substitute teacher salaries. Since substitute teachers will be needed less often, the school will have to set a smaller budget for the substitute teacher budget. This information is all from a school district that is planning on transferring to a shortened school week because of the money-saving benefits. Saving money is an excellent reason to switch to a shortened schedule, but why would our school benefit from this change? Studies that have surveyed schools with 4-day schedules have found that they are much more beneficial in rural areas compared to suburban schools. Frank states, shorter weeks can be more convenient, particularly in rural areas where the 4-day school week is most popular. Rural areas are able to save more money because their bus routes tend to be longer, costing more in fuel. So when schools take the day off, they save more because they were spending more. A main reason why the shortened school weeks are not being implemented in suburban areas like California and New York is because California schools are not required to provide transportation for students. So when schools are put on a budget and they need to cut costs, they just think to cut transportation altogether to save money, and that relieves the parents relied on to bring their kids to and from school. This ends up becoming a big hassle on the parents, and they can't always bring their kids to school every day. So a much better solution would be just shortening to a 4-day school week and keeping the bus route to make sure no kids are left on their own to get to school. Shortened school weeks are beneficial in rural areas, but what are the effects on students when their education is being cut a day short? In a study done by the Oregon State University, they tested students using academic tests to see the differences in accomplishments for 4-day school week students and 5-day school week students. Spark states about the test in the article, 4 studies to know about 4-day schedules. They found no significant differences in academic achievement between the districts that use 5-day schedules and those that use 4-day schedules, as long as the districts are maintaining a high or medium amount of instructional time. So schools are not required to have a day amount of educational time, just the hours. So you could cut a day off of school and just add an extra hour or 2 to each day, because this will help maintain your amount of hours for the year. This shows that students are able to keep up with their academic performance and can continue to receive a good education while extending the weekend and shortening the weekday. Another school in Oregon tested the differences in scores. Thompson wrote in the impacts of the 4-day school week on high school achievement and educational engagement. No detrimental impacts on reading achievement have been reported since switching to a 4-day schedule. This article further proves that 4-day schedules are possible and will not always affect the student's education. Schools should shorten the school week, but what should be done on the extra day off? off can be a great chance for teachers to have prep time, sports to have extra practices, and some schools even offer other beneficial options. In a brief 4-day school week overview written by the National Conference of State Legislators, some schools may offer enrichment activities, tutoring, or time for teacher development during the 5th day. Another benefit of the 4-day school week is all the opportunities that are created on the day off. Students have time to catch up on their work to prepare for the following week. But a big issue being brought up for a 4-day schedule by parents is not having available childcare on the day off. Because many parents' schedules are 5-day work weeks, so when you're switching your school to a 4-day work week, they don't always know what to do with their children. So paraphrased from A 4-Day School Week by Kathleen Kingsbury, high school students are being trained to be babysitters to care for younger kids within the district. So parents can then have a reliable source of daycare on the day off, and students have an opportunity to make money. This is a wonderful opportunity for both the parents and the students, because students, if they don't want to have a job during the week, they could work on the day off, and then parents have an option for childcare. The last benefit of a shortened school week is the attitude and effort created by students when they are required to come to school less often. In the article, Cutting Class, a principal spoke about the changes he has seen since shortening the school week. Students and teachers like coming to school more, so they try harder. When students know they only have to be here 4 days rather than 5, they are more likely to try their best and not put the schoolwork off until after school, because they know they have a limited amount of time with their teachers to get everything done. In my persuasive speech, I told you all of the benefits of having a 4-day school week and why they should be implemented into schools. After hearing my speech, I hope you are all convinced that having an extra day off of the school week and an extra day of the weekend is a wonderful idea that should be implemented into our school. Thank you for listening.